All right. Hello, everybody. This is day five. Yeah, day five of AFPDFEST. We are playing. I'm sorry. I'm making a video every day about this game, Abomination Fight Pit Deluxe, until its sixth year anniversary of releasing on the itch, which is April 4th. Today we are going to be doing a full character guide of TC-C016, or TC-C, or TC. People call them a lot of things, but I usually say TC-C. Now, TC-C is a character I would argue probably my best character. If I was going to be like super serious and like I was playing this game for money or something, I'd probably play TC-C. So, we'll get right into TC-C. So what's their playstyle? So as you can see here, TC-C is got this unique kind of jump, which allows them to do a lot of double jump cancels, or DJCs for sorts. However, unlike many double jump cancel characters, instead of using DJCs for low to the ground aerials, TC-C instead opts to use them for very ambiguous and confusing mix-ups. So their game plan in general is kind of similar to Cat Tosser in the sense they're both very mix-up heavy, but TC-C tends to be very very rushdown based. Their combo structures are very linear in the way that they have a very strict, like, okay, these are your starter moves, and they combo into all of these moves, and it feels like a big skill tree. So it's a character that has a bit of a barrier to entry, but can be incredibly rewarding once you kind of understand what they're trying to do on a deeper level. Now then, so we'll start off with their basics. So they have a decent walk and dash speed, much better than a lot of characters in this game. Pretty much, it's comparable to, I'd say, like Prince Slime almost. Especially this dash is pretty good, although TC-C is going to spend a majority of their time in the air. They have a pretty unique jump. So their double jump can go in three directions. So it can go up, it can go left, or it can go right. And unlike a lot of characters, TC-C has like a hidden fuel meter. So as you can see, like the particles on it get weaker and weaker as he runs out of fuel. And he can cancel this jump at any time with any move. So this can like halt momentum, or he can retain it. And it allows him, this is like the crux of his entire character, is this movement on like how he's getting these stray hits in, like how he's able to approach, how he's able to combo. He's one of the only characters in the game that I see consistently, like you are able to technically drop a combo and then reset back into it because your opponent's like panic air dashing, but you have so many options of like staying in the air for such long periods of time that you're able to continue the combo. They don't have a traditional recovery beyond their jump though, so be careful using this, because let's say like you're using this to combo and then, oh, you run out of fuel, someone hits you off stage, you're not getting that fuel back. Like it's, you only get it back when you touch the ground. And granted, it's all of it like immediately as you touch the ground, but it's pretty, it's still pretty risky to go like too deep into it, so you really have to manage your time for sure. We'll start off with TC-C's grounded moves here. So first, we'll look at what I personally think is his worst move, is their jab. So this move's very, very slow. Has a bit of a disjoint, but the big problem is that it has this ginormous sour spots. It seems like I'm constantly hitting it. So if you hit it up close here, you know, it does 18%. It's gonna kill decently early. But the other hit's only doing 11, but it sends like nowhere. So like even if the opponent's at like 86, right? And then I do like a sour spot jab, it's sending nowhere. But if I'm hitting the normal jab hitbox, it's just killing outright. And although I did get a bit more damage off, I can prove to you that, as we see here, like we'll put him around 85. Like this just straight up kills. It's a incredible kill move when it hits. The problem is that TC-C has to position very carefully in order to make sure that they are getting that sweet spot, or else there's no point in using it. You have better options. So it's generally like, it's not a useless move by any means. It's just that I really think most of the time you're better off like not styling on them with it, and just going with a move that going with just a safer, better move in general. So then we have down tilt here. So down tilt's very, very slow startup, similar to jab, although I admit a little faster here. It's a huge disjointed hitbox. It stuns in place, and it can actually combo into itself, but what it's not showing here is that the SDI is pretty, like, it's pretty strong. Like, you can SDI really hard out of it. So, like, if I'm SDIing away here, or, the CPU isn't really, amazing at SDIing. I'm not good at using it, but like, yeah, you see like right there, you could just SDI like right out of the move, and then there's nothing you can follow it up by. So it's really easy to just get out of that. However, outside of situations like that, the move is still pretty good because you can put the opponent into a checkmate situation like this, where even with like your best SDI, like in general, I think like if you set it up well enough, you're still going to put them in a very disadvantageous situation at the very least. Like, no one is SDIing like this CPU is right here, mostly because it's just like, it's, you could see the inputs down below. Like, most people are not going to be able to get that many SDI inputs. But it is important to note that it is escapable. So at like higher levels, maybe not as good, but because of its disjoint, you can also use it at like ledges, and it's a decent trapping move without having to spend any fuel or anything. Generally, his grounded moves are not the best. They don't have a lot of super great things. They usually all have some sort of drawback. So last move here, last grounded move is up tilt. Now this move used to be the shit. And now it's kind of just okay. But it is still pretty decent. It's a pretty big disjoint hitbox for someone of TC-C's size. They are able to combo off of it and extend combos. This is probably the move you're going to be using if your opponent gets close to you, in general. I just think you're still going to be spending most of your time in the air, but there's very little reason not to use this move in your combos at the very least, because it's generally safe. Now then, now that we're done with the grounded moves, I suppose we'll get on with aerial moves, which are very, very important. So Nair is just an incredibly ginormous move here. So it's got the upfront hitbox, which does 12%, so very, very strong, albeit a little smaller. And then you have the back hitbox here, which is TC-C stabbing with like their little knife, and it's doing more damage. And this move will kill like a motherfucker. It's gonna be one of your main finisher moves, alongside neutral special and occasionally jab. Although, like I said, in situations where you would want to use, or where you can use jab, you'd probably want to use something else, and that's probably going to Nair. This move's very, very good. Starting combos, like this is his Russian move because of the fact that, yeah, you know, huge disjointed hitbox that comes out decently fast, stays out for a bit. It's nice. It's just a really great tool to have. Then you have up air here. This is like a kind of like a Ness 64 Ness up air. Very, very good. You can kind of string moves together, so that you can string up airs together like this, and it can be pretty strong. Just make sure to fast fall after them, but it's decently disjointed, so it is going to help quite a bit with you know, beating out a couple moves that, you know, most characters won't be able to beat out, like unless they have a very good disjoint of their own. It's just a solid move with good damage. All of his aerials do pretty solid damage. Last aerial move, sorry, is Dare here. So Dare, 15% at the start, and then progressively will get weaker. As you can see, like the second hitbox here does practically nothing, but it can still be useful. This move, as you can see, spikes, incredible on stage, good for finishing off opponents off stage as well, because it puts them in a checkmate situation to where even if it hits the sour spot, they're still getting sent down, and it's still not just a great time for them. Not a decent tool to approach either, just because while it is on the slower side compared to his other aerials, it is very long-lasting. And it hits below him as opposed to the sides with Nair here. So it's just a good mix-up tool, because you still get quite a bit off of it. TC-C's special moves, all of them are very, very integral to his combo game, and as well as his recovery. So we have neutral special here. So this is a kind of like a Samus charge shot. Interesting thing about this move is you can see it's really hard to it's really slow to charge up at first, but as you see now that I canceled it with jump, you can cancel the charge with jump. Now that I'm like halfway charged, it's way faster on the startup there. But it's like basically halved as opposed to the like egregious amount of frames to start up. So it's basically to prevent spamming it, which is fine, because the only version of this move, while it has multiple charges, the only version you really care about is the final one, which is indicated by it'll stop the move for you, and it will also have these sparkles. Now you hold the charge, obviously if you die, you lose the charge. So this move, it is pretty SDIable because it has that stun property to it, but 26%, it's going to pretty much kill most characters at like, I would say like 80 maybe. Let's see. Yeah, 70 for Carpenter. I bet you could even kill with like at 60, honestly. Yeah, it's very strong. Now you'll see that the move still keeps going. It will only hit the person once, from my knowledge, but it can still hit other things. So crates, it can hit other players. It's pretty important tool for TC-C because it's a good setup tool. When it's not ending a combo by killing. It's setting up checkmate situations to where your opponent is, due to how slow moving the projectile is, your opponent is forced to make way worse options and that TC-C is able to better handle. So like, he basically forces situations where opponents have to recover or approach specific ways. He can use it even while recovering, albeit it's a little risky, but it really covers a lot of ground. You can even get kills off of it if your opponent's not ready. So very, very good move. And also, it can be reflected, which goes into our other move here, down special. So this is like a almost like a Lucas Shine here. So it has a really, really small hitbox, and then the final hitbox is much, much bigger. Very big disjoint. It's multi-hitting, and the final hitbox is going to, whoops. The final hitbox sends upwards here. So it's very, very good for comboing, although you're generally going to release it immediately to make sure the opponent has the least amount of time to kind of get out of the move in general. But it's his fastest grounded move that is not up tilt. You can obviously jump cancel it like any just like any normal shine move, although it is a little different. In general, I don't really cancel it too much. One, because the timing's a little weird, and you just don't get too much use off of canceling it rather than just jumping. Like wave dash canceling, like this can be okay, but the move isn't really too big. And also, like I said before, TC-C is mostly gonna stay in the air. Sorry, that was a little rambly at that point, but yeah, I was kind of struggling to get that jump cancel off, but I promise it can be canceled and as well as jump canceled, although it's a little weirder on hits, I believe. Maybe it's only jump cancel on whiff. Maybe I'm insane. It kind of seems like that now, but that's fine because the move puts them so negative anyway that it wouldn't matter. That was kind of a silly mistake, but whatever. I'm gonna keep it in. So yeah, jump cancelable on whiff, and it's very, very good for also halting like momentum, or not halting momentum, but retaining momentum. As you can see, you're like able to keep a lot of your momentum as well as fall a lot slower. So this is a good mix-up tool as well as a approach tool in the air. So like TC-C can like double jump back and then double jump, and then double jump DJC backwards and then air dodge forwards into shine. And this is something that I do pretty often. It's just like these really strange like movement mix-up stuff. And you can do pretty much any move with it. Although I like doing shine or nair as my main options here. And that final move you saw at the end there is this laser whip. So this laser whip, you can see from this hurt box, it's kind of ridiculously disjointed. It is actually kind of got a bit of a dead zone up front. As you can see, there's no hitbox there. It's at the top, and it's actually way slower startup on the ground, meaning you have to jump to get the fast version. And so you'll basically never use this grounded version. You can't really combo with it that well, and while sometimes it can be used for to like send opponents that are SDIing weird, like you can spike them with it, but like most of the time it's just like you have better options. You might as well just go in the air, get the quick jump, and then get the objectively superior version of it. I hope there's something that Yadu does with that up special, just because of the fact that I don't really use it on the ground like ever. But the aerial version of this is very, very useful. So like, let's say the opponent's up here, you bring them back down, and you can see it has multiple hitboxes. Generally, you're going to really only be hitting like around 2, but sometimes you'll hit 3, and on very rare occasions, you'll hit something called the Whippy Tippy, which is just the top hitbox of the laser whip. And I can't like 100% always recreate it, but it is very, very strong. It's a strong hitbox. It doesn't send. You generally don't want it because when you get it, you're trying to combo and not kill though. So unfortunately, while the hitbox isn't that bad, it's like strong technically speaking, but you're trying to follow up usually. So unless you find a way to consistently hit that, like I would not. It's something you generally want to avoid. But as you can see here, you know, approaching with like reverse nair and then down special into up airs, and then this is like your main TC-C strength right there. So this is like the TC-C bread and butter, if I can not mess this up. There's many different variations, similar to Carpenter Chicken, like different variations for different characters and different weights and different SDIs as well. All of which are important to keep in mind when comboing as TC-C. Especially with like resetting, you have to be sure to be ready for that. Resetting combos with TC-C is pretty important to learn, as well as just in general, mixing up your approaches, being able to exploit how much control in the air you get compared to other characters, and how much you can really take advantage of your like really ambiguous and erratic movements. A lot of people, you know, have trouble hitting TC-C because they move around kind of like a mosquito. So it's important to note that you should, if you're playing against TC-C, you should really be waiting for TC-C to approach you. I would say in most situations, you're generally wanting TC-C to approach you, and it's advisable to basically wait until they fuck up, right? Like they're jumping around, hovering, trying to give these like ambiguous options, but eventually they're gonna go in and they're gonna use like a move, and if they aren't smart about it, they can put themselves in a disadvantageous situation, which is why I think one of like TC-C's, well, he doesn't have a lot of them. I think one of his losing matchups is against Prince Slime, just because Prince Slime is very good at capitalizing off of bad approaches. So TC-C's erratic movements can also just get caught by these giant disjoints that Prince Slime has. So you have to be pretty careful with that. The reflector, you just use it on any character who has any amount of projectiles, and that projectile is basically irrelevant for most of the game. TC-C versus RoboCat is pretty awful for Robo, although it's not a free win. It is still pretty bad if you can just react to bullets, react to Molotov, shit like that. Cat Tosser is kind of a similar story, although unlike RoboCat, Cat Tosser does not fully rely on their projectiles to play the game in the same way, as in cats are much more than just an item, like in a projectile. They're like, you know, used for teleporting and mixing up them on their own. So I think that matchup's pretty interesting, although generally probably in TC-C's favor. I want to briefly just again say that down special, I did get it wrong earlier. It is, you can cancel it, you can jump cancel it on whiff. It's not on hit. I apologize. I may be a little stupid, but that's okay. I guess the last thing I really want to cover with TC-C is like how you should be recovering, because it can prove a little difficult sometimes, especially when you don't have a lot of fuel. So TC-C really gets messed up when he's like down. Like if he gets punished down here and somehow he gets that low, he doesn't have that many options. However, if he's, you know, more like horizontal like this, he can use down special to really get some more bang for his buck. And he'll almost always recover if he has enough fuel this way, albeit maybe a little predictable at lower fuel levels, but he's pretty good on that mark. So if you're down here and you're like, oh, there's no way I'm making it back, the one thing you can do is you can spite opponents trying to make sure you're not coming back, because Laser Whip is going to send them down, and some characters like Prince Slime, he can't deal with that. His recovery's terrible, especially from below. His like vertical recovery is really bad. So take advantage of that. You may not always be able to save your own life, but you will be able to take a stock with you, or at the very least, get some extra damage off. A little bit counts, especially for someone like TC who's so coded around getting these strings that generally can 0 to death. Let me see. Anything else I really wanted to cover with this character? Yeah, I guess not. I suppose last thing I will say is his combos are just so important. I mean, so is a lot of characters in this game, but some of them can kind of just be played off of spamming one move. Not TC-C. TC-C, you need to actually understand the combo structure. Luckily, it's not too bad. It's the fact that the combos themselves aren't hard to learn. It's the fact that there's so many different versions of them, and generally speaking, you have to on the fly like react like, okay, my opponent SDI'd in a way that wasn't ideal, and so I need to skip this part of the combo, go to a different part of the combo tree, so to speak. So the most infamous situation of this is like, okay, so you're doing your classic, right? You approach with like, you know, the reversed hitbox here, reverse nair into up tilt, down special, right? And then you're doing your up airs, right? And as you're doing those up airs, your opponent SDIs well enough to go to like the side, and you can't hit another up air. So your best situation there is to probably just go for the up B early. And even then, they might SDI the up B weirdly, and then you'll probably have to follow up, maybe not with an air, maybe something like a down air, or another up air, and you might get less damage off of it, but at least you're finishing the combo. And so it's really important to optimize stuff like that with TC-C. I really enjoy playing them. Incredibly satisfying character once you get good with their movement, and like you're mixing up opponents, you kind of feel like you're playing fucking 4D chess and your opponent's over there playing tic-tac-toe. Very, very fun. But that is all I have to say about him. If you have any questions, like always, leave them down in the comments. I'd be happy to answer you. Tomorrow we'll be covering RoboCat, and then God, we'll almost be done with the whole cast. Just 2 more characters and Crate. But I don't know if I'm covering Crate. Maybe I'll cover them with Schlopper. Who knows? If the people demand it, or if I feel like it, I'll do it. But yeah, TC-C is done. Then we're doing RoboCat, Schlopper, and then we're moving on to, I believe, alternate game modes. We're looking at alternate game modes and shenanigans that you can do with those. I'll be having a lot of fun with that. One last note for this video. The schedule for the AFPDFEST, so the final day, April 4th, may actually be focused around another topic. So while the topic of like just the future of AFPD may be discussed, I have something else in mind now generally. But I'm excited to share it with you all, and I am sure you will all love it, hopefully. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. See ya.